Hi everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to start talking about Halloween makeup, and we're going to cover cream makeup, the kind that comes in these little tubes, this cheap stuff you can get Walmart, any drugstores. I got these from Spirit Halloween, so they may be a little bit better quality, but all in all, I think they're pretty much all the same. We're going to talk about prep, application, and removal. Based on my trial and error and things that I've done with them. But this cream makeup I don't like it. I don't approve of it. I think it's awful. I think it's terrible on your brushes. So don't use brushes with it unless you want to buy some cheap Dollar Tree brushes, which still the application is going to be streaky and weird. My recommendation for application is your pinkies. You know, that to me, that's the best application for these cream paints. But if you feel like you do need an applicator, I would recommend go into the Dollar Tree, because you don't want to use your good beauty blenders. Go to the Dollar Tree, get the Sassy and Chic beauty blender. So you want to get one like this, and you can, I can find scissors. Okay, well, I can't find scissors right now, but you can cut it in half, which they're nice. I think they're pretty nice. They're nice and soft, but they're $1. So you can just, instead of worry about getting this cream paint off of them, you could just throw them away. So I can't really find any scissors right now, and you don't necessarily have to wet these for the cream paint, because the cream paint is wet, you know, and moist. But yeah, so use one of these. So for your skin prep, before using these cream makeups, first of all, I want to say I have found that these really burn my skin. They don't leave any irritation or red marks or a rash behind, but it does burn. It's kind of a light Bengay burn. Not quite as bad as Bengay, but it's a similar kind of sensation. And so I would suggest, if you're going to use this on a child, or if you've never used this on yourself before, put a little on the inside of your subject's arm. Give it half hour to an hour to see if there's any irritation or if they complain of burning. Because for an adult, it's bearable. You get used to it, it's barely noticeable, but for a child, you know, they're not going to like feeling a burning sensation on their face. Plus, this rubs away easy. I'm going to show you in a later video, I'm going to use this to do Bagul from Sinister, and I will show you how I would apply it for that type of look. But right now, so for the prep, let me get back to the skin prep. For the skin prep, you want to make sure your skin is cleansed and moisturized. Moisturize that skin at least an hour before you apply the makeup. Don't do it right before the makeup, because then that makeup's just going to kind of not work. It's just going to kind of slip off and stuff. So moisturize, wash your face, moisturize. You know your regular routine to wash your face, but just extra moisturizer anywhere where you plan on using that body paint. Even if you plan on using it on another part of your body, which I wouldn't recommend using that way, because it's just going to make a mess. Honestly, in my opinion, even though I know that it's not necessarily in everyone's budget, because it is a little more pricier, but I really recommend doing getting some like water activated body paint, like by Maron or something, like their Paradise palette. I believe they have 3 or 4 different palettes, and you can get them on their website, Maron, and most costume shops that sell makeup and such. What else? Alcohol activated paint, super expensive. The alcohol you need, the 99% alcohol, is super expensive. Would not recommend getting that for just a Halloween usage. But if you're gonna do a look and you're going to several events or something and need to do the makeup a few times, I would definitely recommend just going with the water activated, because you're gonna be happier with the application. You're gonna be happier with the final product, and it's just going to look good. And who knows, you might have so much fun with it, you just want to start doing crazy makeup just for fun, like I decided to do. So here's the cream makeup for the so your skin is prepared now. And I'm not gonna put any on my face because we're going out for our anniversary dinner tonight, so I don't want to have anything on my face that's gonna be hard to remove. But it doesn't really seem to have any scent to it, at least this kind. So one good thing about the cream makeup is it is buildable, you know, so you can rub it in and stuff, and it is buildable. I would suggest keeping it away from the eyes, even if your package says it's okay to use directly around the eyes. I would suggest, like say you get black and you're gonna do really black eyes, I would suggest going around like the direct portion of your eye, like maybe the lower lid and just under the waterline. All that inward I would do with black eye makeup, like makeup specifically made for the eye, and then go around that with the black cream. It's it'll blend, especially if you're using black, it'll blend nicely. Like you can dab it in to blend it. And again, you're gonna see that in a later video when I use this makeup to do Bagul. So you'll see that in a later makeup video. Now for removal, I'll start with baby wipes and just remove now see, did that remove the whole thing and make a liar out of me? Okay, well that baby wipe removed the whole thing. There is a little this just made a liar out of me. But it could be just because I did one layer and I did rub it in quite a bit. Because it is cream, if you rub it in, it will absorb. But because I did one layer, I think it came off a lot more easy. So let's do a couple different layers. Unless they've reformulated this and made it easier to remove, which would be really great if they did that. So I've built it up with several layers, and also I'm thinking because it's fresh on my skin. Yeah, it's fresh. So if it's gonna sit on your skin for a while, it may absorb some and be harder to remove. But, so I got it all, it's off visually, you can see that it's off, but there's still a bit of residue, and that's when you just go wash with soap and water and it's gone. You know, and darker colors may stain, they may be a little more difficult to remove. I recommend if you're using darker colors, blacks, purples, reds, that you use as few layers as possible and rub it in as little as possible. And what I mean by that, like how to make that work so it'll be, you know, look good on the skin, is get a really cheap makeup brush, like Dollar Tree or something, and put a little bit on it and work with very small amounts in a very small space. And then you may find that you aren't needing to use a lot of layers of it. But like I said, I will be doing an application video where I will kind of show you how I'm going to use it. Now this girl right here on the ad, it looks really beautiful on her. So to apply it very evenly, again, you want that face clean and moisturized. And then you can even use a blender. Let's see. So I put a little bit on the blender. This is actually probably more than I need. And we're going to use my hand again. And see, I find with the blender, even if you do that, it's not as effective. It just wipes it, just is lifting it off of there. But you know, that would be effective if you're doing like a geisha look and need to do like a pale skin. But for like your average like skeleton look or something, you're not going to want to use something like this because it is going to pull that makeup off of your subject or yourself if you're the subject. So anyway, that's it. Just a quick rundown of cream makeup. Again, I hate it. I would recommend just getting a water activated body paint. You can get some on Amazon for really inexpensive. If I can remember, I will list some suggestions down below as alternatives to this type of makeup. It's easier to remove, it's less messy, it's more vibrant in my opinion, and it's still buildable. The cream makeups, I will give it to them, they are very buildable. I just don't like them. I don't enjoy them at all. And by the way, that didn't burn my hand at all, so maybe they did improve the formula, but only time will tell. So but again, just because it didn't burn me this time doesn't mean it's not going to burn. So again, check on the inside of an arm, put a little on the inside of an arm or something on your subject, or yourself if you're the subject, and just make sure it doesn't burn you. And if it does burn, can you stand it? Baby wipes to remove it, especially those. I mean, I think those were Snuggles. Yeah. But baby wipes to remove it seem to work really good. The cream makeup comes in many different colors. When Walmart comes out with their cream makeups, I'm going to grab some of them and see how the cleaning process goes with those. And if it's different, I will make a follow-up video to this with just the Walmart version. But I think that they're all made by the same company, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's all made in the same plant, but we will see. But that's it. I hope this is helpful to you. Please check back for a video on me applying this makeup. And it's almost Halloween, guys. I start in August. Sorry, that's just me. And I will be doing a lot for Halloween. I've got some DIY projects. A lot of things coming up, and I hope you stick with me and enjoy everything. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.